Bitcoin separates the state from money. Bitcoin kills the state. If you don't like where you are, move. If you don't like where you are, move. Go somewhere else where you are treated better, your money is treated better, your Bitcoin is treated better. You don't have to stay planted in some place where you're being disrespected. You're not getting the respect. The war is really for the benefit of the bank. Bankers are the bookie, and you're just dying for bankers' stimulus checks, essentially, or money printing. That's the cause of all wars today, is to just print more money.
Max Keiser, a vocal Bitcoin supporter. In this video, Max will share his insights on how did he argue that Bitcoin is eco-friendly, using wasted energy from old plants? How did he discuss Bitcoin separating state from money and promoting individual freedom? How did he reveal Bitcoin's role in Canadian truckers' protest, suggesting activists use Bitcoin as their treasury? Don't miss this exciting and informative interview with Max Keiser.
Bitcoin doesn't waste energy. It uses wasted energy.
Right.
Like the cheapest energy you can find is energy that's being thrown away. Like old power plants, old hydro plants, old plants that nobody's using, they've abandoned. Well, you can start them up again. They're stranded. No one's using them to mine Bitcoin, which is the hardest money that's ever existed in the history of the planet. And to the extent that you're defunding the least efficient, worst industry of the planet, without a doubt, would be the war industry, right? It's the most carbon intensive. It causes the most death and destruction. And if you can defund the war industry by funding the Bitcoin industry, not only are you in the greenest industry in the world, that's more than 50% now renewable energy is used in Bitcoin mining, but you're defunding the worst industry in the world, which is the war industry. So yeah, again, it's like the economics here are very, very compelling and very appealing to anybody who says, oh, I'm an environmentalist and I'm pro-peace. Okay, well, then you're a Bitcoiner.
And you're a Bitcoiner.
And Greenpeace should be the biggest advocate of Bitcoin in the world, because it's environmentally friendly and they're into peace. It's green peace. Okay, that is an advertisement for Bitcoin. It's green and it's about peace, right? Their whole arguments against Bitcoin are completely misinformed. They put out a lot of information that's dead wrong. I mean, I used to do some campaigning for Greenpeace back, 10, 15 years ago.
The debate over Bitcoin's energy consumption and environmental impact has been heated, as critics claim that Bitcoin is a major contributor to global warming, and supporters defend its efficiency and innovation. Bitcoin consumes more energy than many countries, but also uses more renewable energy than most industries. Bitcoin's annualized electricity consumption was 127 TO, while its renewable energy share was 56%. Wait a minute, everyone. Welcome to Bitcoin Zella, your platform for daily cryptocurrency analysis and news. Our mission is to keep it simple. Bitcoin Zella offers engaging information that is easy to understand. Our analysts keep their eyes on the latest news to provide valuable insights via email. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Join our community of 10,000 subscribers and experience the new edge with Bitcoin Zella. Subscribe now.
Have your wealth in Bitcoin, then you're putting a line in the sand. You're cutting the connection between war and money, because you're separating war from money from the state, which is a very key part of the Bitcoin story, is that you're separating the state from money. And the state typically has been in the money business now for 300 years or more, as we kind of came out of the Middle Ages and into the modern nation-state era. It became really the modern central bank era. And this is been the story now for 300 years. And the state wants people to believe that only they can issue money and only they can recognize money and only they can define what money is. But money existed before the state. Money existed for 100,000 years before the relatively new invention of the nation state and the central bank. And money will exist after the nation state goes away, because of Bitcoin is disintermediating or putting the nation state and the central bank out of business. So money existed before the nation state. Bitcoin separates the state from money. Bitcoin kills the state. Effectively, that's the three-step process. If you don't like where you are, move. If you don't like where you are, move. Go somewhere else where you are treated better, your money is treated better, your Bitcoin is treated better. You don't have to stay planted in some place where you're being disrespected. You're not getting the respect.
Bitcoin's decentralization and censorship resistance have attracted many people who are dissatisfied with the state and the central bank, especially in countries with high inflation, capital controls, and political instability. Bitcoin has been used as a tool for financial inclusion and empowerment by people in countries such as Venezuela, Argentina, Turkey, Iran, and Nigeria. These countries had high levels of Bitcoin adoption and usage.
The people in Ukraine and the Ukraine war, and this is all going on. The Canadian truckers, another example of how Bitcoin played a role in that conflict. The Canadian truckers were not great at actually storing their Bitcoin, etc. So it wasn't as great as it could have been had there been a little bit more knowledge in terms of how to handle Bitcoin, how to store Bitcoin, etc., and go into it fully aware with the Bitcoin. They came into Bitcoin mid-battle, I would say, kind of on the fly as things started to get unruly there. But that's an important lesson going forward, is that if in fact, getting back to the activists out there, activists, again, typically you would equate activism with the left. You have environmental activism, you have civil rights activism, you have different activist groups. Well, if these activist groups are all into Bitcoin, then their treasurer that they have to fund their activism is unconfiscatable. So that would be a huge benefit.
The Canadian truckers raised over $900,000 in Bitcoin after their GoFundMe account was suspended. However, the Canadian police also blocked 34 crypto wallets associated with the truckers, invoking the Emergencies Act for the first time in history. In Ukraine, the government and several NGOs received millions of dollars in crypto donations to support their war efforts against the Russian invasion. The Ukrainian government also legalized Bitcoin in February 2022.
Yeah, Bitcoin demonetizes war and violence. And what I mean by that is because it's unconfiscatable, it's uncoercible, right? You cannot coerce someone into giving you their property, their Bitcoin, because it's behind this encrypted wall that you cannot penetrate, even if you are the U.S. military, even if you are show up with a tank. You cannot get through this encrypted wall of Bitcoin to seize anybody's Bitcoin. And so it changes the dynamic, because economics has always evolved really over the course of human history as a byproduct of war, and vice versa. There's always been this need for more territory. We're going to expand. We're going to take that guy's stuff. But if you can't take that guy's stuff and you can't go to war, there's no profit incentive to go to war because the booty is unconfiscatable, then you're not going to go to war. You have to come up with some other reason, incentivize you to get up in the morning other than to go and steal somebody else's shit. And so it disincentivizes war, and it monetizes peace and love, because then what people will come out with and do is, in order to get some Bitcoin, they'll exchange something that would be considered of value, and that something would be useful, like food or some practical device or a homemade tool, or to put it in crude terms. And so it just changes the whole social contract and the social structure if you have perfect money, unconfiscatable money. So let me ask you this. The liberal side of the political aisle, I believe they're against war. Yes. Right? They're like traditionally like, we're against war. And seriously, on the right, they're like, hey, we got to go to war. We're the defense military industrial complex. We like war. We're on the right. We're conservatives. And the lefties, the perception anyway, is that they're against war. They're more into the others. But so the question becomes, why wouldn't liberals and lefties like Bitcoin for this reason? That's a question, Graham.
And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zella. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. Not know why you haven't subscribed yet? If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.